guys, how are you all doing? It's your girl Cindy, and I'm back again today with another gist. I trust you guys are doing great. I trust you guys had an amazing time today. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So I just want us to see this video today and talk about it. This white man right here was walking on the street of New York. He saw people on the queue receiving free food. For some reason, it didn't sit well with him. He recorded them literally saying a lot of things. I'm going to let you all see this video. Of course, people reacted to it, which we are going to see. Please check this video out.
Somebody please explain to me what the fuck is going on. Is this actually real? I'm sorry. I'm all for helping people. And you know, like the world is a tough place and everybody needs to help everybody. But this is a line for free food in Brooklyn. There's not a single person here who speaks fucking English. And they're just taking all this free fucking food. Are you kidding me? This is a nice area. People are paying 10, 15, 20,000 a month for stores here on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. And people are just giving shit away? This ain't right. This is not right, guys. We got to do something about this.
Right. Let me get this straight. So because they don't speak English, they are not entitled for free food? I just have one genuine question to ask him. How does it concern him? In what way, shape, or form? People were on the queue waiting to receive free food, which you did not contribute. How does it affect your life? Anyways, you guys, I have put together a few stitches. We are going to hear from them. And of course, I'm going to show you his comment section. People are really coming for him. Please check the stitches out.
For free food in Brooklyn, there's not a single person here who speaks fucking English.
Go back and watch that. If that is your take, if you feel like he feels, then just understand this. Do not consider yourself a good person. Do not consider yourself a person who is all for helping out another fellow human being. You are a person. That's it. That's all. You're not worth the air you breathe. You're not worth the ground you stand on. There's very little value that you honestly have to the world. You just use. You're a user. You use up good air, you use up good resources, and you give absolutely nothing back. You assist in absolutely nothing. Do not consider yourself a good person. Do not consider yourself a helpful person if you have an issue with this. And on that whole English thing, America, the United States of America, does not have a set language. Does not have a set language. Not at all. So whatever language somebody is speaking is the language they're speaking, and you shouldn't have a problem with it. And if anybody has a problem with it, talking about this is America, everybody should speak English. No, everybody shouldn't. This is a colonized country, and so therefore we mainly speak the language of the colonizer, but this is not our normal language. This is not my normal language. It's only my normal language because I was raised in it. This was not the language that of my ancestors. You took that away from me. So anybody who comes here, whatever language they're speaking, it's their language, and you shouldn't have a problem with it. If you can't understand it, then stop listening. Stop listening. Mind your business. Mind your business. If you don't have a need to communicate with them, then why do you care? Why do you care? Mind your fucking business. Y'all get on my goddamn nerves, I swear for God. Stop thinking you're a good person if these are your problems. If you agree with anything this man has said, your problem. You're not a good person. Don't think you are. Stop thinking you are. Fix your shit.
Sorry, I'm all for helping people. And you know, like the world is a tough place.
Let's just clarify. You're only all for helping people as long as they're white people who speak English. Okay? That's exactly what you're saying right here. You're just doing it in a roundabout, fucked up way so as to try to make yourself feel better. It doesn't matter if they speak English or not. You know, people need assistance, and here you are deciding that just because they don't speak English as well as you do, or at all, that they're undeserving. I mean, seriously, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck do you think you are trying to make that decision? Definitely not an American.
Way? This ain't right. This is not right, guys. We got to do something about this.
You're absolutely right. Something needs to be done about that. The problem is with a lot of situations like this that have been ongoing for decades, it's gonna take a while. Okay. And a part of the process of fixing this is for people like you to see it firsthand. The problem is you're going into this situation judging. You're not trying to assess. You're not asking questions. You're not talking to anybody who's handing out the food. You're not trying to get to the bottom of the situation and expose the situation as a whole. You're just going around talking about people don't speak English, there's free food, and you're all about helping people, but you wonder why this problem exists. Because too many people like you had parents and grandparents that said the same fucking shit. You people want to fix shit, but your political moves say you don't. And so what happens? You have a neighborhood that where you supposedly said that people were paying 10, 15, maybe 20K a month to live there. You live on a globe, bro. You don't live on a flat plane. What goes around comes around. Stop acting like you got the answers. Ask some critical questions. That's the beginning of empathy.
In Brooklyn, there's not a single person here who speaks fucking English.
Where do I begin with this one? Now, if you watch the full TikTok, he's literally complaining about people standing in a line, getting free food handed to them, and apparently everybody in that line doesn't speak English. I must question this man and his place of origins when it comes to New York, especially Brooklyn. New York as a whole has always been a place of immigrants. You can live in New York all your life as an immigrant, and depending what community you end up moving to, you will never have to learn the English language, or at least not become completely fluent with it. Okay, you can just get by. Yeah, it's kind of weird because he's on Atlantic Avenue, and if you know anything about Atlantic Avenue, if you know Brooklyn itself as a borough, it's always been an area of immigrants. That's the crazy thing about this TikTok and this man complaining about, one, people getting free food. Like, who cares? Like, how can you mentally be like angry about people getting free food? Like, if they're getting out free food, let people enjoy it. If you don't need it, walk by and keep going. If you need it, stand in line and get it. If you don't, like, why does it matter? It doesn't hurt your pockets. It's probably an organization. They probably did some fundraising. It's probably food donated from a farmer's market. It's probably food that's close to be expired and a grocery store donated it. There's so many possibilities. But being angry over people who are not speaking English in Brooklyn, in New York, that's wild. So to reconfirm what I already said, here's an article that is from Brooklyn's waterfront website, like historical website. They go on to details like breaking down different historical things that happen in this area of Brooklyn. So it even states, starting off, Brooklyn has long been a gateway and a refuge for immigrants, point blank, period. In the 19th century, Irish and Scandinavian families lived and worked on Brooklyn's waterfront near present-day Brooklyn Bridge Park. So for those who aren't aware, English is neither a Irish official language, like that's not their like native language. They spoke Gaelic, and Scandinavian people do not speak English either. Okay, so let's carry on. By the following century, communities of Arab, Spanish, Italian, and Puerto Rican newcomers put down roots along the western end of Atlantic Avenue near Pier 6 at Brooklyn Bridge Park. And it continues on. The article continues on, but I'm not going to read it all, okay? If you need to do the research, you do the research. But anybody who knows anything about historical things about New York know that New York, for the longest of longest, has been a refuge or has been a asylum city for immigrants, okay? Another thing, why do you think Lady Liberty was put there? Why do you think Ellis Island existed? What does it state in the book or the little plaque that Lady Liberty holds? If you don't know the answers to that, then you know nothing of New York. So you have no place to comment about anything in regards to people not speaking English in New York. Because you, sir, are not a real New Yorker. You need to learn about the city you live in and understand if that's something you do not like. There's so many places in the world that you can live in. Yeah. I want to double down on what I stated about Irish people. I am aware that Irish people did speak English back in those days. Yes, English was a language that they were familiar with because of the English and what they did to them. But here's the fact that you guys need to know about the Irish. Many of the Irish people that moved to Brooklyn/New York were from counties in Ireland that had a very high percentage of people who spoke the Irish language. And it stated in this article that the majority of Irish people who migrated to New York were from counties that had a high percentage of Irish speakers. Cork County was 47%, Kerry was 61%, Galway was 69%. So yeah, so the Irish in Brooklyn back in those days were speaking to each other. You know, if they probably didn't want nobody to understand what they were saying, they would like, you know, get into that Gaelic speaking and just have fun, you know? I could only assume, like, you know. But I just wanted to point that out because I know somebody's going to be like, but they speak English in Ireland, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'm aware. But I'm also aware that Irish is an actual language. Like they have their actual native language that existed for thousands of years. Cool.
Avenue in Brooklyn.
So, are you new to New York? I don't know if you recognize the B on my hat, but that doesn't stand for Boston. It stands for Brooklyn Dodgers. That was my dad's favorite baseball team before they moved to L.A. So, if you go out to the New York harbor, there's a tiny island called Ellis Island. And 0.4 miles from that, there's a statue called the Statue of Liberty. It was a gift from France to the United States. Now, that statue sits on a pedestal, and in 1883, a woman named Emma Lazarus wrote a sonnet called The New Colossus that is currently mounted to the base of that pedestal. I'm not going to read the entire New Colossus, I'm just going to read the last few lines because that's what most people know. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Those very same people you're complaining about are the people mentioned in the New Colossus, mounted on the Statue of Liberty. And if you disagree with that, here's what I think you should do. I think you should get a jackhammer and a crowbar and pry that plaque off the Statue of Liberty. Nowhere on that plaque did it say, please don't send these people to prominent areas with expensive zip codes. Now, if you are a native New Yorker, which I'm assuming you are, you probably have ancestors that came through Ellis Island. Maybe that's something to consider before complaining about huddled masses who are probably not a whole lot different than your ancestors, who are also yearning to breathe free. Well, anyway, this has been Doc for Diesel Punk Industries. Thanks for watching, and as always, Crunchy White, pimp forever.
We're just giving shit away? This ain't right. This is not right, guys. We got to do something.
Okay, now that I have calmed down and I am reasonably able to vocalize what I want to say without busting a blood vessel in my head, let me ask you a question, sir. Are you one of the store owners in that neighborhood that pay $10,000 to $15,000 a month? Are you? Did you walk past everybody in those lines and ask them did they speak English? Now, notwithstanding, America does not have an official language, and the majority of us, well, let's just say speak Spanish. I'm not one of those who are bilingual. I took Spanish in high school and didn't take. But we speak Spanish as well as English. Then you have certain other dialects, Gullah Geechee, you have French, you have Patois, and a myriad of other offshoots of other languages. Did you ask them what language they speak? Did you? You know, Brooklyn used to be regarded as one of the worst neighborhoods in New York. You know, back in the day when hip-hop first rang out, Brooklyn's in the house. If you wasn't from Brooklyn, you pretty much got stomped. But now that it's been gentrified, it's a nice area where people pay $10,000 to $15,000 a month for storefronts. And I asked you, did you own one of those storefronts? I'm pretty sure you don't. But this is a nice area where they're out there just handing out food. Where would you like them to hand out food at, sir? Giving away free food to help those who are in need. Now, I did notice that some people had walkers. So, they are elderly people. And I'm pretty sure they didn't come from far and wide just to get food, which means they reside in that neighborhood. So, do you reside in that neighborhood? And for you to go, this isn't right, this just ain't right, because they're handing out free food to some people who may be disenfranchised, some people who may have to make it to next week before their next paycheck. But you go, this ain't right. We need to do something about it. What would you like to do, sir? What would you like to do? Not feed the need? Would you like to send them somewhere impoverished where they can get this free food? I'd like answers, sir, because you're the kind of racist who will hide in plain sight. But when things like this happen, you open your mouth and remove all doubt that you are in fact scum. SCUM. And as one of my friends so eloquently stated, you're three weasels in an overcoat. You have no morals, no shame, no empathy. You need to be fixed. You need to be helped. Because it's one of those Christians that I'm sure you proclaim to be. Jesus fed the poor. He healed the sick. He hung out with whores, thieves, liars, and robbers. Do better.
So I took some screenshots of comments from his comment section so you guys can see what other people said about his video. I can't believe that we are doing this in 2024. Gatekeeping food, free food, because they cannot speak English or they don't speak English. Seriously? Wow. Anyways, you guys, I thought I should bring this video here. I love some of the questions people asked him. Do you have a shop around that area? Did you speak to one or two or three people to confirm that they cannot speak English? Or how sure were you that all of them cannot speak English? Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe for more videos. I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. Y'all take care. Bye.